With a saturated market for red dots, it's really hard for a company to make a product that stands out from the rest, whether it's quality, price point, features, you name it. It's really difficult for companies to really put themselves out there and be different. Primary Arms has introduced the GLX MD21S recently, and they actually sent me this for the review. I really appreciate them sending this out. Let's go ahead. This is going to be an unboxing video. We're going to talk about the specs and the features. We're going to do a really deep dive on all the details. So I appreciate you guys tuning in to the Hold Center channel. My name's Dakota. Let's go ahead and cut to the tabletop portion and get into it. Alright, y'all, I don't think I mentioned this in the intro, but Primary Arms did send me this optic for this review. I did not pay for this. I like to be transparent. They did send me this. I did not pay for this with my own money. I am an affiliate for them as well, but that does not change the fact that I provide honest reviews regardless of the situation or the cause of the review. So GLX MD21S, let's go ahead. You see a bunch of the features here on the front of the box. Let's go ahead and open it up, and then we'll talk about the features after we get this thing opened. So let's get this box open. Got a card here that talks about how to contact them, as well as their lifetime warranty. So this shows that they have a lifetime warranty for any defects or workmanship issues. Guys, they cover their products. They're good about that. So just know that you're buying a good product, or you're buying a backed up product if you're buying one of these. Let's see, here's the owner's manual with a little lens cloth in the middle. Here's some more about the features and even how to set this thing up, how to control it. So if you look here, these are your controls, plus and minus on the side. It comes with 2 mount heights, which we'll talk about that here in a minute. It actually comes with 3. Comes with a 2032 battery, uses a 2032 battery, which is good. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this optic out. They have it in this plastic wrap here. I assume to protect it. It comes with a little bikini cap here, front and rear. And this is the GLX, so this is the first time I've had one of the GLX optics. And the GLX, the difference between the lines there, the SLX, the classic line is the cheapest. It's missing some features, maybe some lower quality products, or maybe some lower quality materials, I should say, used. SLX is the next step up, which is, they used to be silver, and now GLX is just above that, which apparently the difference there between SLX and GLX is supposed to be quite a big difference. And then from GLX up to PLX, which used to be the platinum line, PLX is top of the line, absolutely best of the best. So proudly designed in Texas, Houston, Texas, which is where Primary Arms is located. Has the patent on there, but it says right below that, made in China, which a lot of the Primary Arms optics are made in China. I think a lot of the PLX optics are made in Japan. So there's that. You see the solar panel on top. You guys have already been looking at it while I've been talking. Solar panel on top, 2032 battery here on the side. I'll get that open with a tool here in a minute. Elevation right behind the solar panel. I really like this. It reminds me of the PLX, or not the PLX, the Cyclops adjustments here, which is very similar to some of the other options on the market. Here's the windage adjustment, and it's the same. These are half MOA clicks, so ½ inch for every 100 yards ish. Brightness settings here, positive and negative, so brightness up and brightness down, which I don't think it has a battery in it right now. So it is an aim point micro footprint, which is the T2 style footprint. That's what the MD lineup is for. It's they're small tube optics, micro dots is what they call them. You see the 4 screws here on the bottom. That's how you mount it on there, and then they've got 2 little holes right here to be able to go in. I do like this mount has a Picatinny lug in it. It doesn't just rely on the 2 screws going through the Picatinny. It also has a lug in the middle. So that's enough for that right now. Let's go ahead and dig through this thing just a little more. So here is a low mount. So if you wanted to mount this on a shotgun, or like a 1022, or even like a Ruger American or something like that, for whatever reason, if you wanted to mount this on that, it comes with the low mount right there in the box. And this is the spacer, so this is how it goes from that standard height mount, which is a 1.4-ish, to a lower third, which is a 1.5-ish. You use this plate here, and it beds into the optic, or beds in between the optic and the optic mount there, and that gives you your riser to make the difference between your standard height and your 1/3 co-witness. Here is some tools. That is a T-bit and then a T-handle, which that looks like the same one as the optic mount there, and then this one looks like it's the one for the screws that mount the optic to it. Yep, sure is. So that's it. Looks like maybe a T15 and a T25, maybe a T30. Not 100% sure. Let's see, is there anything else in the box? Bunch of screws, which you would think that they would do that, right? I'm glad that they do that, because you got really 3 different lengths of mount here. You got a low mount, which actually has a thick base, and then you have the regular mount, and then you also have, if you run this, it uses the same screws or screw holes to go through that and into the optic. So, is there a battery in here? So I'm not seeing a battery in here, but it says it's supposed to come from the factory with a battery. So maybe there is one in here and it just died. Alright, so there it is. I got the battery changed out now, and it's functioning like it's supposed to. So obviously the dot looks super bloomed out like it always does, unless I can focus through the optic and see it like you're looking at it at a distance. Anyways, that's something that I always recommend anyways. If your optic comes with batteries, go ahead, replace them. That is the #1 thing. They send them out with the cheapest batteries they can get in bulk to put in these things, not just Primary Arms, but every manufacturer. So go ahead and replace them as soon as you get them, or else you're going to have to deal with dead batteries very soon anyways. So let's go ahead and talk about the features here. Got them listed right here in the owner's manual, so I don't want to miss anything. Let's go ahead and talk about it. So auto live motion activated illumination. So what that means, if you let this thing sit, like it's sitting in your gun safe, or it's sitting next to your bed in a vault, or in a little mini vault or something like that, for whatever reason, if this thing's sitting and it goes motionless for long enough, it will cut off. I believe it's 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, I could be wrong, but it cuts off on its own. That's to save the battery. It cuts back on as soon as it experiences some form of motion. It feels, it senses the motion, and it turns right back on. Okay, so top-mounted solar panel with protective coating. So it's got a protective coating on the solar panel. The solar panel is going to help run this optic better than just the batteries. So it leads to an extremely long battery life, and it's also a fail-safe. So if your battery does die and you have ambient light bright enough to power this thing, then it will kick the dot back on. So it's got the low battery indicator too. So the low battery indicator means the dot's going to flash whenever the battery is getting low. It's going to let you know that it's getting low. Talked about the turrets already. These turrets, I like that they are low profile and they're super slim to the optic itself. Like, I don't feel like it's a huge housing or anything, but they are open, so you don't have a cover to protect them from getting accidentally turned or bumped. But they do sit kind of low profile, like it says here. They do sit low profile, so they sit in there quite a bit. But they are a big Phillips and slot, so it's pretty easy to get in there and turn it probably. We'll talk about that. We'll test that here later. So as far as your settings, you can adjust your settings super easy. It's a push button. They're very easy. They're very tactile. You know when you've hit the button. It has 12 brightness settings. 3 of those are night vision settings, so it really has 9 daylight settings and then 3 night vision settings. It is a micro dot footprint, which we already talked about, and it comes with the co-witness height sight. The housing is made out of cast aluminum, so it has this anti-reflective coating on the lens, which you expect out of modern optics. I already said it's night vision compatible. We already changed the battery, the 2032 battery. Go ahead and change that whenever it comes in. It's fog resistant and IP67 rated. And then the last thing they have listed here is the lifetime warranty. Now this thing comes with two options. The option one is what I have here, and that's the 2 MOA dot. And then option 2 is the ACSS CQB reticle, which I'll put that on the screen right here for you guys to see. You have 100 MOA of adjustment on both elevation and windage. The total weight is 5 ounces for the optic, and then these are 20 millimeter lenses, which is why they call it they used to call it the MD20. Now this is the MD21, so they're 20 millimeter lenses, which is the same size as the Holosun 403, 503 series, as well as the Aimpoint T series. Alright, so let's go ahead and wrap this one up. The primary arms, GLX MD21S, has a ton of awesome features. This is a great optic from the looks of it. Let's go ahead and we're going to mount it on a rifle now. We're going to test it out, and then we'll be back for a full review at a later time. I appreciate you guys watching, and thanks again to Primary Arms for sending this out for me to review. That review video will be coming in the near future. I know this is a small channel, so I'm thankful that you guys are watching this video. If you watched it all the way to this point, go ahead and drop down and hit the subscribe button. Let's get this thing growing. Thanks for watching. Hold center, and God bless. We'll see you.